Hello, and what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Psycho-Synopsis. I am Master of the TDS, and I am joined by my lovely wife,
WritingRaven. Now let's get into it.
Who are you? I'm Ray. Ray who?
Geeks of Color writer Andres Cabrera recently made the bizarre claim that critics of the Walt Disney Company's atrocious Star Wars movies and television shows are white supremacists and brings up rewriting Ripley.
This guy's absolutely delusional.
Now, for those of you who do not know what rewriting Ripley is,
Or was.
I don't know, they have me blocked. It was a thing for a while. They basically made these couple articles where they tried to basically brand anybody who was critical of Star Wars or anything Disney was doing as like this online hate movement that was funded by Steve Bannon. It's a wild ride.
Yeah. It was weird.
We're not going to go into that. I just think it's funny because it was thoroughly debunked, and they crawled back into a hole and didn't emerge for like another year or so, made 2 more articles, and from what all I know, they haven't been seen since.
Good riddance, because they were insane. You don't need to rewrite Ripley.
That, and there was rumors that these people actually were employed by Lucasfilm or Disney to run PR. We don't know for sure.
I would not be surprised if that were the case.
Andres here is basically saying that anybody who doesn't like Star Wars is a white supremacist, and we all are propagating our hate through our multiple YouTube channels, and we're all on networks saying the same things, and we attacked Finn, which didn't happen.
No. Finn was a good character until they ruined him.
The reason people had a problem with Finn was not because Finn was a problem, it was because there were some people new to Star Wars who know the clone troopers, that's what they're called, are clones. So they were confused why a black guy was in the clone armor, because it made no sense if you didn't keep that in mind.
Well, technically, in the Empire, they were stormtroopers, and in the Republic, they were clone troopers. And Commander Cody did actually train new recruits for the stormtroopers for a time, but nobody really knows what happened to the clones after they were, decommissioned for the stormtrooper army.
But you have to understand that the only Star Wars movies that had come out since then were the prequels, which all had clones. So now we suddenly have, they're coming back to this and there's a black guy in it, people were confused. So that's that. Then he says that everybody hated Rey since The Force Awakens, which another lie.
It's really since The Last Jedi, when she was really shown to have no character.
A lot of people had issues with her in The Force Awakens, and that's totally fine. But many people just felt The Force Awakens was a nothing burger.
I enjoyed it when I first saw it.
I didn't hate it, I didn't enjoy it, but the thing was, I had nothing against Rey until later on.
Yeah.
Then he brings up the hatred towards Reva and recent things towards Ahsoka, and then tries to backtrack and say that he's not saying everybody in Star Wars who has a critical opinion is bad, but that's exactly what he is saying.
Yeah, he's not making any sense, he contradicts himself, and he's just dumb.
Here's the thing. He also mentions, which is kind of funny, he says that basically the amount of YouTubers or Star Wars people who have the same opinions we do have grown in the past couple years. And I think that's funny because you're admitting that we're the majority now.
He's not wrong there.
If you're so threatened by us, then maybe that's a you problem, not an us problem.
Indeed.
Having opinions does not mean that you cannot enjoy those movies. Nobody has said that. But you seem to have to find reasons for why things are failing, and it could just be that not a majority of people like it. There are movies that I like that people don't like. That's just how it is.
Yeah, same. That's the same with everybody. It's called having an opinion and liking what you like. If you have to force others to like something that you like just so that you can like it, it means you don't really like it and you need to find a new hobby.
It means that maybe you're doing that not just because you want someone else's opinion to make you feel justified, but you need it in order to feel justified having the opinion of yourself. You need to have that opinion and you need to be justified. Now, just to clarify, You can see his screen name here. Do not contact him. We're not sending anybody over to him. We just thought this was very ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Show the hardest workers here of all.
Standing there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online. Weird.
The Daily Wire has officially thrown down the gauntlet and announced Snow White and the Evil Queen, their own live-action, more accurate adaptation of the classic fairy tale to compete against Disney's adaptation.
Thank you!
A lot of people have some opinions about the Daily Wire, and that's fine. You're allowed to have those opinions. But
Yes.
Let's break this down for everybody. Rachel Zegler, the current Snow White, has done nothing but make herself one of the most unlikable people in all of Hollywood right now.
More than so than Brie Larson.
Yeah, people are even calling her the new Brie Larson. Now, she's not allowed to say a lot because of the current actor strike. She has made it very clear that she doesn't care about the character, that they're changing it for modern audiences, calls the princess stalker, all this kind of stuff. I'm sure you've heard all the song and dance right now.
And even said when she got the role that she was not going to bleach her skin.
Yes, people forget that. That was one of the first things she tweeted, and then she deleted it when the backlash got very heavy.
Yeah, even black people agree Snow White is the one character you do not race swap.
Hence, Snow White, as her skin is white as snow.
It's literally where she gets her name!
But the Daily Wire is throwing their, hat in the ring, and they're doing an adaptation of Snow White. Now, will it be amazing? Don't know.
It definitely looks like it's going to be extremely low budget.
Instead of looking at the budget and looking at, how good of a product it is, we need to look at it as a little different way. We need to look at it as, this is the fans fighting back. Even if this tanks, even if it's terrible, right? If it somehow has a better reception than Disney's version, it's literally the biggest message you could ever send to Disney that they're failing. Will they hear it? Don't know.
Probably not. Their ears are too full of, green cheddar.
Green cheddar.
What, isn't money sometimes called cheddar?
Yeah, but that would be
I was thinking more moldy cheese in Mickey's ears.
Why are we talking about moldy cheese?
I don't know, because their ears are so stuffed they don't want to hear anything the fans actually have to say.
So they're just stupid.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying, oh, it looks like a female Ben Shapiro and whatever. That's not the point. The point is, it's time for people to take a stand. There have been a lot of people, the majority of people who watch things or whatever, or what we would call normies. They watch it, and then they go about their life. It's time for normies to rally up, because now some of them are waking up. We've seen it.
Thank you for doing so, by the way.
Both sides are pretty much on the same side when it comes to Rachel Zegler and Snow White. There are obviously a few outliers, but that is something to consider, is that everybody is on the same side for once. And that's something that Disney did not expect, and I'm sure they do not appreciate.
Obviously, because it means they're going to lose even more money, not to mention all of the other changes that they're making are totally going to make this tank. Plus, if Daily Wire has actual dwarf actors as their 7 dwarves, they're going to get a lot more people watching their movie than Disney ever will.
This is the biggest message to Disney, that not only are you in the wrong, but we are going to push back. We're not going to be quiet anymore. So even if the Daily Wire's film is not that good, or it doesn't end up being what we think it would be, it does mean that it is a pushback. It's saying, Disney, the buck stops here.
One thing that definitely Disney has going for them right now is that Rachel Zegler is not allowed to speak.
She's still finding ways to do it.
Oh, of course she is. And also all the other clips are still coming up of her and all that stuff. Not to mention she's ugly as heck. I'm just saying, if she's supposed to be the fairest of them all, and you're going with actual fairest of them all, Gal Gadot, who's playing the Evil Queen's stepmother, is 1,000 times prettier and is supposed to be jealous of Snow White's beauty.
Yeah, but they're not even going to go with that. Remember, it's the fairest ruler of them all.
Yes, I know, but Gal Gadot is still way prettier than Rachel Zegler will ever be.
I agree. But regardless, I think the most ugly thing about Rachel Zegler is her attitude.
Absolutely.
And I think that Daily Wire will have her beat there.
Definitely.
Good evening, Mr. Soccer Water Tribe, Miss Katara Water Tribe, Lord Momo of the Momo Dynasty, your Momoness.
Avatar Egg, how you do? Go on.
Netflix has officially begun to thaw the ice around the Avatar's return by providing fans with their very first glimpse at the streamer's upcoming live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series.
And actually, they don't look that bad. Except for Zuko. He looks bad. His scar is not nearly visible enough.
As you can see, the images here are of the Fire Lord,
Uncle Iroh, Princess Azula, and Prince Zuko.
and there have been more. Now, a lot of people have high hopes for this now, based off of the success that Netflix has had with the One Piece adaptation.
Yes, which actually was pretty good. And this looks like it might be good, because it looks like they're actually sticking to source material. But given what we saw last year of the synopses that have been pretty much scrubbed from the internet, it still might be bad.
Originally, we got like some casting things for this, and they basically made it seem like they were going to have Aang and everybody be in school, and like Aang was going to be adopted or whatever. A lot of people said, hey, this might just be to protect what they're, doing, or to keep the real character bios out of the things. I don't know what to think. What I do know is if they go a same kind of route as they did with One Piece, which, to be fair, they kind of can't do, because the people who were in charge of this, the showrunners of the Avatar thing, walked off this project. People don't remember that.
Yeah, I think they walked off the project because they saw the writing on the wall, given all the other live-action adaptations that went to heck.
Now, has Netflix learned? Could they have been, taken steps back? Could this be good? It could be.
Perhaps, but I don't have high hopes for it. I mean, something people don't remember is we were the first to announce the plot for the Wednesday Netflix show. And I'm pretty sure everyone said how we were wrong and we turned out to be right.
I think the biggest thing we said was that that Tim Burton was only directing 4 episodes.
Yeah, he only directed the first 4, and that it was going to be about Wednesday in high school learning how to deal up with her psychic powers. Everything we said turned out to be correct.
Yeah, because we do have sources. Shocking, I know. But
that's why it makes me worry that perhaps the first things we got may actually be true.
I'm concerned about that as well. But I think the biggest thing that makes me concerned is actually not those leaked synopsis of the characters. It is actually the fact that the showrunners are no longer on the project. Because what made One Piece successful
was Oda-sama on set and having creative control over everything. Arigato, Oda-sama.
Yes, and I don't think that the showrunners are even involved anymore. And if they are not, that doesn't mean there might not be a good product in here somewhere. But it concerns me because nobody's going to be reining Netflix in from doing their craziness. And my concern is that Netflix is going to be very sure of themselves after the success of One Piece. And my concern is they're going to let that success go to their heads. And it's going to become a thing where they think they can do no wrong, and it'll go right back to being, this will be like the next Cowboy Bebop live action.
Yeah, and Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think, could be considered a classic, considering how good and awesome it is. If they mess this up, especially after the mess up that Korra had, Korra absolutely sucked, they will get eaten alive.
We are getting some movie adaptations of some of the things going on with the Avatar again, animated movies. Those are in the works. And those will be definitely interesting because they'll be done by the original showrunners. Will this be good? Again, we can only hope. But the last adaptation of live-action Avatar...
no one speaks about.
Yeah, it left the bar very low. And if this is better than that, good. But that doesn't mean people are just going to blindly accept it because it's better than the original.
True.
I think that they have a good potential here. This could be something really good, on par with One Piece. But what I would do if I was them was reach back out to the showrunners, let them know that they've changed their mind, and work together. Because otherwise, you're going to fail.
Absolutely.
And they can't afford to fail with this one. This is a big one. A lot of fans.
Yeah.
They need to get this right. Because if they don't, this is going to make a lot of people doubt the next season of One Piece or any other live-action adaptations.
Going forward.
Looks like it's time for another therapy session.
And now we move on to the diagnosis of the week, where we diagnose the week with a mental illness.
Because someone has to.
Mwahaha.
And we have a great diagnosis for this week.
Do tell.
The diagnosis for this week is bystander apathy.
Please explain.
Bystander apathy is a social psychological theory that states that individuals are less likely to offer help to a victim in presence of other people. How does this relate to our current topics? Well, as you can see, I think we're in a part of Hollywood now where the fans are the focus, as they've always been, but we're now having where fans have one of three approaches. For example, the Daily Wire is fans fighting back.
Netflix live-action Avatar is fans being indifferent.
And the Geek of Color writer is attacking fans to deflect from the South. This is what we see. Either fans fight back and make their own things, fans get blamed for everything that goes wrong, or people just stay indifferent and stay out of it. It's time for the indifferent people to stop being indifferent just because everybody else is. They cannot have bystander apathy, because if they allow that to happen, it's going to end up being a huge problem in the future. By the time they are no longer apathetic, we won't know how much is going to even be left of the pop culture that we love. Come on, it's time for you to wake up. Not just wake up, but it's time for you to speak up. These are your future, your children, your pop culture. Don't let them take it away from you. And that's why I feel this is a great diagnosis for this week.
I agree.
That is all we have for this week. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and also make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss your weekly therapy session.
Or you will be charged.
Gothic Therapy out.